brothers and sisters? What is going on? This is Steel Sermon, Chicago Bulls edition, with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. As I said about a week ago, I'm going to come on here, try to talk about the NBA more. My Instagram is in the description below. Now, listen Bulls fans, listen NBA fans. Before I make this video, I just want to come down here and say, I'm not going to sit down here and act like I know everything there is to know about the Chicago Bulls, because I don't, okay? I'm a new fan. I'm still getting my feet wet back with the NBA. I'm still getting my feet wet with the Bulls. But from what I can tell, stop undervaluing our players. For real. Especially Zach LaVine, okay? Let's talk, now, before I talk about Zach LaVine, I have to talk about, this extension with Nikola Vuce, which I agree with. I mean, we locked him up for 3 years, $60 million, which, that's good. I mean, Vuce brings a lot to the table. You locked him in. He does have his limitations, but overall, you're getting a nice double-double machine, a guy who puts up decent numbers every single game. He can defend well. He attacks the rim. So altogether, you're getting the complete package here with Nikola Vuce. So I like that. A lot of Bulls fans been saying that that's the end of Zach LaVine now that we have Nikola Vuce for 3 years. But here's the thing about it. Number one, it's not like 3 years is a long-term deal. 3 years is short-term, and most likely this guy's contract is going to be up when he's in his mid-30s. Okay? So that's number one. And number two, as I said, I'm so sick and tired of everyone just undervaluing a guy like Zach LaVine. Is he a perfect player? Absolutely not. I mean, we know he took a step. I mean, I know that he took a step back from 2022 last year because, he had injuries and he does have untimely turnovers in the worst times, and it cost the Bulls games. And I know he's not exactly an elite defender, but when you look at him as a whole overall, you're getting a good defender. You're getting a guy who's probably the best offensive weapon on the Chicago Bulls. And it just kind of seems like when this guy stays healthy, he can honestly be a top scorer in the league. Now, here's the biggest thing with not just NBA fans and not just NFL, MLB, whatever you want to name it. The general consensus here with most sports fans is that they tend to overvalue and undervalue players. And I'm guilty of that as well. Just take a look at my channel, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've overvalued, with me being a Pittsburgh sports fan. I can't tell you how many times I've overvalued guys like Brian Reynolds or Sidney Crosby, deservingly so because he won us 3 Stanley Cups, or Jake Gensel, or Jason Zucker, now that he's gone with the Pens. And then on the Steelers, man, I can't tell you how many times I undervalued some of our players. And I was guilty of that with Minkah Fitzpatrick in parts of last year. Just go look at some of my videos. But I'm getting off topic here. The point is, a lot of Bulls fans just kind of take for granted and they undervalue guys like Zach LaVine. Just because he gets hurt and just because he turns the ball over a lot, that doesn't mean that we should, try and sell this guy short and create a bigger problem for the Bulls. I think he is worth keeping. He really is. Stop undervaluing him. And in my honest opinion, he's a max contract type of player, which I think he's going to get if he steps it up this year. He's able to stay healthy. He can play about 75. He can play about, 70. I'd say about 70 games at the very most. Maybe 65, 70 games. But my point is, if he can play majority of the season, I see no reason why it should take, we shouldn't take a gamble on a max contract, because Zach LaVine is worth it. And I even heard one Bulls fan, on a Bulls YouTube follower, a Bulls fan I follow on YouTube. It's Chicago Bulls Central. Go sub him up. He's also with Locked On Bulls. Go sub him up. Great show. But I also heard in his voicemails that some guy He wanted Zach LaVine traded to Boston for Al Horford and Marcus Smart. Are you serious, man? I mean, like I said at the beginning, I ain't going to sit down here and act like I know everything there is to know about the Bulls. I don't. But you don't have to be a fan. You don't even have to be a rocket scientist to know that trade, if it happens, which it's not going to happen, let's face it, okay? It ain't going to happen in a million years. That trade is not going to make the Bulls better at all. Really, all you're doing in a situation like that is that you're taking away your top scorer, you're taking away one of your best offensive weapons, in my personal opinion, one of the best scorers in the league, and you're just creating a bigger issue because now you weaken your defense. You weaken both your offense and your defense with taking Zach LaVine out of the equation. And other than that, do you really just think that Boston is going to go for player? They're going to cut two of their biggest players for Zach LaVine? Do you really think that that's going to... You really think that the Bulls are that dumb? They're ripping themselves off if they... I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. It just doesn't make us better. The bottom line with Zach LaVine is, if we do trade him, okay, if the Bulls do end up trading Zach LaVine, they better get a massive overhaul out of that deal. I'm talking about like 2-3 first rounders. Not some superstar blockbuster trade that's going to shatter NBA headlines or anything. But I'm talking about draft capital because, like I said at the beginning, Vooch is here for 3 more years, so that's going to prolong our competition window for the short term. But in the meantime, beef up the defense. Beef up your scores. Build around him for what you have in 3 years so that way that contract isn't for nothing. Because I tell you, a trade like that where you're getting 2 players and you get rid of your best scorer and you weaken your defense in the process, it's just creating a bigger issue altogether. You're setting yourself up for failure with a trade like that. Plain and simple, man. But yeah, Zach LaVine, I just don't get the hate for him. I just don't get why Bulls fans just think that he's better off gone. I don't know what delusions they live in, thinking that they're going to get some massive blockbuster trade out of trading him for. I just don't get it. No team in the NBA with common sense is going to be able to make a move like that. And if they are, then the Bulls front office is just really dumb. But I know the Bulls aren't that dumb to do something like that. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Zach LaVine is so much more important to this team than a lot of people give him credit for. Plain and simple. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, Chicago Bulls fans and NBA fans. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the day. May God be with you all. Let's go Bulls.